Welcome to Walt Disney World.
How is it going, everyone? It's K-Lumity here, and today we are going to be talking about Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour on the PlayStation 1. This video game is not very good, but we'll get into that. The reason I picked this game up is because I went to Walt Disney World for the first time this year in 2022, and I really enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun, and I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but I really did enjoy it, and I wanted to pick up this racing game, first of all, because I love kart racing games. Kart racing games are probably my favorite style of game. I wanted to pick it up because of that, and I wanted to pick it up because you're actually racing on the Walt Disney World attractions. So the different rides and stuff are actually courses in this. So you get to drive through the Haunted Mansion. You get to drive through the Jungle Cruise. You get to drive through the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. You get to drive through Space Mountain. You get to drive through all these courses. And this game, aesthetically wise, is very pleasing. I like the way it looks. Yes, of course, it's PlayStation 1. It's dated. We all know that. But in terms of just the fact that the actual rides, the actual courses look like the rides they're based on, is really cool. I like that. I like the karts. I like the characters for the most part. I'm a little bit confused as to why there's no Mickey Mouse in this, and there's no Minnie Mouse, there's no Goofy, there's no Donald Duck. I don't really get that. Like, Chip and Dale are the main characters in this, and like that's okay. I like Chip and Dale, but you know, I feel like if you're doing Walt Disney World, you definitely need Mickey Mouse to be in this game, and he's not in it. So that was confusing and that was weird, but it's what it is. You know, the characters that are there, I don't think are the best choices, but there's a lot of odd choices in this game. Speaking of odd choices, the actual racing in this game just isn't very good. For some reason, they decided to make it super difficult. This is probably the most difficult racing game I've ever played in terms of just kart racing games. This is tough. It is a tough game. I was stuck on the Haunted Mansion map in story mode for probably 2 hours straight, just racing on the same map over and over again until I finally got first place. Because you can't progress in story mode unless you get first place on these tracks. And the AI is brutal. Most kart racing games will have some sort of invincibility period after you get hit by an object, so that way you can't get immediately hit by another one. Not this game. This game has a no invincibility period, so if you get hit by something, you can get hit over and over and over again, and it's completely merciless on you, okay? This game will beat you down, and it doesn't care, okay? It doesn't care how you feel about it. It will hurt you. It's way too difficult for what it is. It's a Walt Disney World kart racing game. There's no reason for it to be this difficult. There should at least be some sort of difficulty select, and that is not even in this game. So that's unfortunate. You're going to be replaying a lot of the races over and over and over again in story mode until you get first place, and that is definitely a negative because I didn't want to spend 2 hours alone on Haunted Mansion. But it is what it is. The upgrades are questionable. I like the acorns. Again, it makes sense for Chip and Dale. I'm okay with the acorns. However, there's one ability that turns people into a frog, and it turns like almost every kart racer on the course into a frog. And it moves the character so slow. And the worst part about this ability is that you can get that ability to turn everyone else into a frog while you're in first place. So if you're in first place and you get that ability, you can get so far ahead of everyone else. You use that ability and then there's no chance of ever catching up. If an AI character gets this in first place and you're in second place, well, say goodbye to the race because you're going to lose that one. There are some abilities that are just way overpowered. There's a missile that you can actually control. It's like a firecracker, I should say, or a firework. It's a firework that you can actually control. You launch it, and then you follow where it goes, and you actually pilot the firework to hit another kart. And while that sounds cool, in a kart racing game, it doesn't really work very well because you're piloting the missile, So the AI has to take over for your car and pilot your car while you're piloting the missile. It's very odd choices for what, abilities to use. Very odd choices for the difficulty of this game. And the map design, oh my goodness, the course design is horrible. Even though it looks great in terms of the aesthetic of this game, again, I like the way it looks. The actual course design, though, and the racing on the courses is terrible. There are way too many sharp turns that the carts cannot take very well. The layout of them is super confusing, and it is just not well done at all. A lot of them do have shortcuts, which I'm all for shortcuts, but I don't feel like you should have to take shortcuts to be able to win a race. To me, that kind of takes the skill out of the race and all makes it down to, oh, you gotta know where the shortcuts are to win. And I don't like that a whole lot. To me, that is a negative. I'm not a fan of when they do that. So, yeah, there's a lot of bad when it comes to this game. You can unlock more characters. There's quite a few characters to play from. Unfortunately, I don't really care about any of them other than Chip and Dale. Like, when you first beat the storyline, you unlock Jiminy Cricket, and it's like, okay, who cares? Like, I don't know anyone whose favorite Disney character is Jiminy Cricket. Like, that wasn't a very exciting thing to unlock as the final character. But it is what it is. I do think that's cool, seeing these courses that are based off the rides that I actually rode at Disney World. I thought that was cool. I like seeing the courses that I never got a chance to ride because, there's the ride for dinosaurs in this. The dinosaur movie that came out in the 90s. There's a course for that in this, and I think that's really cool that I get to kind of see what it looks like because I've never seen that before, and I don't know if it's still down there or not, but I don't remember seeing it down there, so being able to go on that was pretty cool. So even the rides that I missed a chance to get onto, I got to see. I got to see the racing, the test track is what it's called. I didn't get to ride that when I went down there because it broke down while we were waiting in line, so I got to see it in this game, so that was kind of cool. Obviously, it's a lot different looking. It's still, they take some creative liberties to make it more of a racetrack style event, but still, it's still neat to see these places that I didn't always get to see all of them. I didn't get to see all of these rides down there, so it's kind of neat to see them in some form in this game. And I do like the fact that while there is the racing mode and the racing is annoying, I don't really like the racing, I do like the little breaks that you get in between. The actual test track, when you get onto test track in the story mode, it's actually not a race. It's like a collect-a-thon mission. So you go around and collect a bunch of tokens. And you go to Disney Hollywood Studios, I think is what it's called. You go there as well, and it's another just pick up all the tokens and collect all the tokens. And I like those ones because they're not insanely difficult. They seem fair, unlike the races. So I do like that. But yeah, overall, this game, unfortunately, it's not a very good game. There's things I like about it. I like the fact that it's Walt Disney World. But other than it being based on Walt Disney World, the actual mechanics of the game just aren't very good. The actual courses aren't very well made. If you pick this up, it probably should be for the fact that it's a Walt Disney game. It probably should be for the fact that it's a game based in Walt Disney World and for the aesthetic of the game overall. I don't recommend picking this game up if you want an actual good kart racing game. I only recommend picking this up if you are a fan of Walt Disney World and if you are nostalgic for it and you just want to see a cool PlayStation 1 game with a cool Walt Disney World aesthetic. So, there we have it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe button down below. If you ever played this game, let me know what you think about it down below. I'm curious to see if you have any nostalgia for this game or anything. I never played this game growing up. This is a game I just played as an adult, so that is why I feel the way I feel, probably, because I have no nostalgia for this game. But maybe people who have nostalgia for the game will like it a lot more than I did. I still like the way it looks, though. And I still like the music. Hearing the Disney music is pretty darn cool, especially when you first started up and you hear Small World playing and it's going through Magic Kingdom. That was pretty cool, I gotta admit. So, I will talk to you next video. You have a great day. Bye-bye.